This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
As the cleanup continues downtown, another peaceful demonstration against police brutality is just getting underway. This is a live look outside of the city-county building. Hundreds are planning to gather for what's being billed as a silent protest aimed towards local lawmakers and law enforcement. We do want to begin, though, with some breaking news. Just moments ago, Mayor Joe Hogsett announcing there would be another curfew in place tonight for Marion County. You may remember that one was in place yesterday evening. We know the curfew will be in effect from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. We have more information for you on that on the IndyChannel.com and the RTV6 mobile app. But again, a curfew in effect for Marion County starting tonight at 8 p.m. Now, the latest demonstration we're following this midday was put together quickly, and it follows the events of the past several days that have led to nighttime curfews that we just mentioned here in Indianapolis. Our Stephanie Wade is joining us live this midday outside of the city-county building with more on today's demonstrations. Stephanie.
Lauren, this is now day 4 of protests here in downtown Indianapolis in response to the death of George Floyd, who was killed by a Minneapolis police officer. I'm going to step aside now and show you what we are looking at and describe. This is now deemed as a silent protest. We're outside the city-county building, which also serves as IMPD police headquarters. I'd say about 50 to 100 people are here right now, kneeling in honor with George Floyd. Again, it's silent. Some people raising their fists. Some people have signs. This was just organized earlier today for noon. Everyone immediately came here on the lawn, taking a knee. Absolutely no words spoken, some bowing their head. Again, in response to the death of George Floyd. This is pretty unique, too, from the protests that we've seen earlier this weekend. We've seen hundreds of people marching through the streets of downtown Indianapolis. Peaceful, definitely peaceful throughout the day. It's only at nighttime that we've seen some of those turn violent, with some smaller groups breaking off and damaging some businesses here in downtown. And many of those business owners waking up today, waking up yesterday morning to their businesses destroyed. But again, this is pretty peaceful. They're just kneeling right now, absolutely silent. And police are nowhere near, although this is their headquarters. They are remained on the other side of the road on Market Street. This is actually off of Washington. And yeah, we're just panning across here. It's about 100 people, some wearing face masks, again, some with signs. This was the only protest that we were told were planned for today. Now, it's unclear how long this will last for, but we will be here on RTV6 on Facebook Live as well, but I'll keep you updated here downtown. Lauren, back to you.
Stephanie, thank you for updating us on that. We will continue to check in. Well, today was supposed to be the first day some Marion County businesses are allowed to open as the county loosens its COVID-19 restrictions, but some businesses we know are still boarded up after vandals damaged them following what had been peaceful protests. Our own Kelsey Anderson is joining us live downtown as the cleanup continues and the community comes together to talk about what happened. Kelsey, what can you tell us?
Hey, good afternoon, Lauren. So what we know right now is that it will take some businesses a while to clean up after this. And we've also learned that 112 businesses downtown Indianapolis did have some sort of damage over this weekend. Vandals started breaking out windows and in some cases stealing items from businesses. You can see here this business boarded up after police fired tear gas in an effort to get protesters off the streets. Today you can still see the boards on the windows of businesses on several streets. However, you can also see that some businesses are showing solidarity with those who have been protesting police brutality for days. On the boards at Silver in the City on Mass Avenue, employees wrote the names of black people who have been killed by police, most prominently George Floyd in Minneapolis last week and Dre'Jon Reed here in Indianapolis back on May 6th. This morning, our crew spoke to 2 young women on Mass Avenue who told us they were on their way back downtown to again have their voices heard.
We were here out the other day participating in the peaceful protest that's been going on over at the city market. There was a curfew instilled, and I mean, it's upsetting to see that they're more willing to put a curfew in place than to hear our cries for help, because this is not okay.
So there is still cleanup happening here on the circle. You can see they were just out here power washing and using dry ice to get graffiti off the monument here. And then we also had the mayor announce a curfew today starting at 8 p.m. He's extended it into today, 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So again, that curfew, 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you for the update. Governor Holcomb says he'll hold a briefing for reporters about the weekend's protests as well as the violence later today. It's scheduled for 1:30 this afternoon. We will have live coverage here on RTV6. You can also watch it at the IndyChannel.com and on the RTV6 Facebook page. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast. Todd, looking outside, it looks like another beautiful day here in central Indiana. What can we expect for our lunch hour and the rest of the day?
Yeah, you know, it is absolutely beautiful out there, Lauren. Here's a live look from downtown to the north. And one little change from this morning is there's some high clouds starting to filter in. But even as these clouds start to come in, it is still going to be an absolutely beautiful afternoon with the comfortable temperatures and the humidity that is going to remain low. But things will be changing as the week goes on. So that's why you need to take advantage of today's weather. With the sunshine, temperatures have climbed out of the 40s where they were in many locations this morning to 60s and 70s already. 70 in Bloomington. 68 in Indy right now, as well as Tipton. 71 is the current temperature up in Muncie. So you see the clouds coming in, and there's a few showers here in Illinois that are trying to get going. These should continue to fade away as they run into some drier air, but I guess can't rule out the chance of maybe a sprinkler or two this afternoon up towards the Peru area into Logansport. But otherwise, we are just looking at partly cloudy skies this afternoon, and overall a really nice afternoon with temperatures that'll be in the mid-70s. This evening we fall back down into the 60s, but tomorrow highs are into the 80s. In fact, upper 80s, and potentially on Wednesday, Lauren, we could see our first 90-degree day, but that's also when thunderstorms re-enter the forecast. We'll talk more about that for you coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, the weekend shootings led to 2 deaths, and one of the victims was really well known here in Indianapolis and among the IU football community. The Marion County Coroner's Office says that Chris Beatty was the victim of a shooting that happened around 2:30 Sunday morning near Pennsylvania and Market Street. He later died at Eskenazi Hospital. Beatty played football and at IU, and he also was with the Cathedral High School team that won 3 state championships. He later started an events and consulting business and was a partner at Revel nightclub. Beatty was frequently seen at sports events across the city, and word of his death prompted an outpouring of grief on social media. Chris Beatty was only 38 years old. Police brutality protests happened all over the country over the past weekend. The anger spilling over the death of George Floyd at the hands of officers in Minneapolis. ABC's Alex Brochet says that the city saw an increase in violent confrontations between police and peaceful protesters, even as there is unity between the two in other cities.
George Floyd! From Brooklyn to Washington to California, more protest over the killing of George Floyd under the knee of former police officer Derek Chauvin. Curfews going into effect in many places, but having little effect in some cities. In Philadelphia, smashed up storefronts, demonstrators throwing rocks and Molotov cocktails at police. In Atlanta, 2 officers fired for excessive use of force. Police releasing this graphic body cam video. Officers using stun guns on 2 college students. The Associated Press reporting 4,100 people arrested across 22 cities in just 3 days. National Guard troops now activated in 21 states and Washington, D.C. to control crowds and looting. But most of the protests have been peaceful, particularly during the day. But even peaceful gatherings turning dangerous yesterday. Watch as this tanker truck barrels past a barrier towards a crowd on a highway here in Minneapolis. Police identifying the driver as Bogdan Vercherko. He's now in custody. They say miraculously no serious injuries were reported.
I think the incident just underscores still the volatile situation we have out there.
Investigators are also looking at new video showing what appears to be the minutes before Floyd was pinned to the ground and died. Floyd can't be seen in the video, but you can see one officer leaning into the police car, scuffling with someone inside. Chauvin, one of the 4 officers fired after Floyd's death, facing third-degree murder and manslaughter charges. So far, the other 3 officers involved haven't been charged. But while there is outrage, stories of unity on display between communities and law enforcement, with officers taking a knee alongside protesters.
Yes! We are with you. We are not against you.
I think we all have something to work on, and it's a nice start.
And today, the brother of George Floyd making the trip from New York to Minneapolis as his family seeks what so many are marching for, justice.
I just want to feel my brother's spirit. I just want to, I don't know, for lack of better terms, just connect with him again.
Another update overnight, Derek Chauvin was supposed to make his first court appearance today. That has now been pushed back to next Monday. We also understand that Chauvin is under suicide watch. Alex Crochet, ABC News, Minneapolis.
Well, it is difficult enough to move into a new house during a pandemic, but up next, a warning about criminals who are targeting movers, promising services, but not delivering. And something desperately needed these days. Later, we'll show you how a company tried to bring some healing to the downtown area over the weekend. Todd.
And Lauren, temperatures today very comfortable. We're going to be in the 70s for your afternoon highs with plenty of sunshine. However, as we go forward in this forecast, the heat that is out to the west, that is going to start to build eastward. We're into the 80s tomorrow and potentially the 90s by Wednesday. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Best of the Nurses Ball this week on ABC.
Welcome back. Well, it's been difficult to do a lot of normal activities during the pandemic, and one of those is moving into a new house or apartment. Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau tells us that criminals are targeting some people who are trying to make that move.
Well, with the whole COVID-19 situation, we are seeing that people are having to move. And the scammers are taking advantage of that. And here's how the moving scam works. There's a couple of variations on this. The first one is you contact a moving company and you get a quote from them. They have you pay something up front as a deposit. And then the moving van or the moving company never shows up. So you just lost your money. Then the second one is the company will come and they will give you a price based on the weight or average weight or an estimated weight of what it is that they have to move. They'll load everything up and they'll say, oh, gee, there's a lot more here than we thought. It weighs a lot more. And they really up the price. In fact, sometimes they can even double the price on you. So that's another one. And then the third one is, and this one is really something you want to avoid. They'll come, they'll load up, they'll take all of your belongings away. But then the moving van doesn't show up to your new location. And you'll get a call from them basically saying, hey, if you want all of your goods, you'll have to pay us another fee, or essentially they're holding all of your furniture and all of your possessions as ransom. So you really want to check out moving companies before you hire anybody. BBB.org is a great place to go and check out moving companies, but make certain that you do your research before this, because you don't want to get scammed by these people. You don't want to lose all your possessions, or you don't want to get ripped off. So we're just seeing a lot of this because, number one, summer is the time when a lot of people move. And now with the COVID-19 event, we're even seeing more people that are moving, and the scammers know this and they're taking advantage of it. So do your research before you pick a mover.
Tim, thank you. We have more money-saving tips right now on how you can protect yourself from scammers. It's at our website, theindychannel.com/money. Let's take another live look outside over downtown Indy. We'll get one more check of your forecast with Todd coming up after the break. He's going to look ahead to the rest of your work week. Stay with us.
800-850-5054.
Welcome back. We want to take you back out live to that protest, a silent protest and a peaceful one here in the downtown area outside of police headquarters. We do have one protester now addressing the crowd. IMPD Chief Randall Taylor also in attendance. Let's listen in.
To things that we could have easily, prevented. Thank you so much for everybody for wearing masks. I just thought it was easier for everybody to hear me, so I just took my mask down. But really, thanks. Please just go amongst yourselves. Please, I'm being 100% serious. I understand. My white brothers and sisters, I understand it's hard. It's hard. But the leadership here is the same color as you. If 100 black people got together in front of the city county building, nothing would happen, because it's been proven time and time again, well-meaning or not, they don't identify with us. Put the mirror in front of their faces. If you see an injustice, then you come down here and you put it onto the leaders. They're more likely to listen to you than they are of us. The time of being silent with your friends and your families, your neighbors, your business owners, schools.
And if you want to listen to more of what's going on at this protest downtown, you can listen on the WRTV Facebook page. We are streaming that live. Taking a turn right now to our forecast, Todd Cosset is standing by. And for folks who are gathering downtown, Todd, right now, it's a perfect day to get outside. Beautiful weather. What can we expect?
You know, you really do need to get out there and enjoy it, Lauren, because the humidity's low today, the sunshine is out there, as you saw, and the temperatures are very comfortable. That's going to change not only as this week progresses, but also the month. So I'd like to always, on the first day of each month, kind of recap what you can expect and some highlights throughout the month. Last month, I told you May was the wettest month of the year, and it lived up to the billing with over 7 inches of rain. Today's average high is 78. We'll get pretty close to that. By the end of the month, the average high is up to 85, just over 4¼ inches of rainfall. And June 20th this year is when the summer solstice arrives. So that's the first official day of summer, but it is going to feel like summer here by the middle to the end of the week. 60s and 70s at this noon hour all across the area. 70 in Bloomington and Greencastle, 68 in Indianapolis. As you look from downtown to the north, we are starting to build in a little bit in the way of some high, thin cloud cover, and that's these clouds spilling in from the west. And then you also notice a few showers trying to get going just north of Lafayette. It's not out of the question. Maybe in northern locations there could be a sprinkle, but it shouldn't be anything more than that. All this precipitation and cloud cover, for that matter, is running into a lot of dry air that's in place, and most of that should bypass us off to the north. So we won't have that bright, clear sky, the blue sky that we had this morning. Be kind of more filtered sunshine, but still a great afternoon to get out and about. Low 70s to the north, mid 70s from Indianapolis to the south with that low humidity. Now things change really as we head into the day tomorrow. Tomorrow we're back into the mid 80s with partly cloudy skies, and it's a dry day. You'll notice the humidity come up just a little bit tomorrow as well, but it's not super oppressive as we go throughout the day tomorrow. I think really Wednesday's the day that you're going to notice the heat and also the humidity. We have not hit 90 degrees yet across the area. We potentially could get there on Wednesday, and you notice there just as we went through portions of the afternoon and evening hours on Wednesday. Let me back TrueCast up for you a little bit. You could see a line of showers and storms starting to develop across the area. So Wednesday, we bring the humidity up, we bring the heat up, and we reintroduce the chance of showers and storms across the area. The temperature trend takes those temperatures up into the 90-degree range Tuesday and Wednesday. And then as we go throughout the latter half of the week, it cools off a little bit with temperatures back down into the mid-80s. That front stalls Thursday and Friday, so Wednesday is mainly dry. It's just that one little band of rain that comes through. The showers will be a little more numerous, I think, for Thursday and Friday. But again, Saturday and Sunday, mostly sunny and temperatures in the 80s. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6. We're back in just a couple minutes.
RF.org.
Welcome back. Through the shattered glass in boarded buildings in downtown Indy, we are searching for stories of hope. And so many of you may remember Bonsai Balloons, the local small balloon business we featured here on RTV6. Well, over the weekend, the owners took these letters of love to the streets of Indy in the aftermath of the protests and the riots. One of the owners, Tyler Shives, posted on Facebook saying, "This is going to take a lot of healing and a lot of time." He also says he made a commitment to serve the community when he enlisted in the Army, and right now this is the only way he knows how, saying, "We have to start calling out the wrong. This is indeed something we are all in together." A great message there. Let's get one final check of our forecast this Monday with Todd.
And it's a good afternoon for us, Lauren, to get out and about with mostly sunny skies, low humidity. Temperatures will be climbing up into the 70s. Much warmer tomorrow, 88. A little more humidity around tomorrow across the area, but it's still a dry day. Wednesday is when we bring the storms back in. It'll be more of a cold front coming through, or a cool front rather, because the temperatures don't drop a whole lot, but it will be enough of a trigger mechanism to get some storms going here and there. And then we'll keep storms in the forecast on a scattered basis Thursday and also on Friday.
All right, Todd, thank you. And thank you for joining us and making RTV6 your choice for news. Join us back here for the news at 5. We hope you have a great afternoon.